That is the windy sound of League of Legends. You know?
What?
A deathless void.
Why is the League of Legends
void
open? Oh, you want me to come up? I'm coming up.
Just scoot up.
I want the world to know. I'm gonna let it show. Lucian doesn't appreciate your criticism.
Lucian looks stupid. I'm gonna cut that wind off before we continue.
Lucian is a beautiful creature.
A creature is right.
Very handsome. Look, watch guys. See, this is what he looks like now, right? And it's like a dinosaur version of that necklace that Chavezz gave me that one time.
Oh, yeah. It was a bracelet, but yeah.
Bracelet, necklace, same thing. How are you?
Just poke myself in the eye.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, God.
That's a bad start to this video. But anyway, what up, Ho Biscuits? It's your girl, Skitten. I know it's been a long time. You're welcome. Okay? I took a vacation for you guys. I was taking a break and it was for you. And now, upon my return, I come back with a shaven king.
Please don't brush my hair that way. Come on, man. That's disrespectful.
You don't even have any hair to brush anymore. You shaved it all off. You look like a... I won't say that. That's a very bad joke.
Naked mole rat?
I was gonna say cancer patient.
Rufus, the naked mole rat.
Sure.
Yeah. Are you ready for this video? Because I picked it out for you.
You're more handsome than Rufus, baby. Yes, let's get started.
I already reacted to this on my channel, but I love it. So let's do it. Play.
In 1687, a court convicts a young woman of kidnapping, body snatching, and arson.
Body snatching.
They sentence her to burn at the stake, but they convict an empty chair. Julie Daubney, see, never shows up to court. She's too busy fighting tavern duels and living on the run with her girlfriend. And instead of an execution, she'll get a starring role at the Paris Opera. Okay. Who was this remarkable woman? And what was going on in France that allowed her to not just exist openly, but rise in society? Buckle up. Have we got a wild story for you?
At this point, I was doubting it because of his voice. It was too jolly to be a wild...
Like almost like a infomercial?
PBS special.
Yeah, yeah. PBS is paid for by viewers like you.
Yeah, and it was always trash. It was never like a really good story.
SkittenSays is paid for by viewers like you.
Now we put an ad in there, and then you watch that shit.
Julie's life began in unusual circumstances. She grew up in Versailles, the daughter of a middle-class family who worked for the king. But her father wasn't just any run-of-the-mill servant or bureaucrat. He was the secretary to the Comte d'Armagnac, the king's master of the horse. Basically, that means her father trained court pages and worked for the guy who was responsible for the royal stables and the king's retinue. The royal stables didn't just house horses. They were a bustling and critical part of life in Versailles, where over 1,000 blacksmiths, servants, saddlers, coachmen, and other employees kept the royal horses ready for the king's next trip, hunting.
How many blacksmiths do you know? I know at least 3 black dudes named Smith.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think I know any black
dudes. You don't know any black dudes named Smith? Oh, man.
Or war. And Julie lived in this rough and tumble environment from the age of 9. There, she studied alongside the court pages who'd go on to serve in Louis XIV's court. And in doing so, she quickly mastered the courtly arts of reading, horseback riding, drawing, dancing, and especially swordsmanship. The Comte took her as a mistress when she was 14, and, as was common at the time, arranged for her to marry a man named Maupin to keep up appearances. Shortly after the wedding, the Comte arranged for Monsieur Maupin to transfer to a cushy job in the south. But Julie refused to go through the husband, opting to stay in Paris. That is, until she ditched the Comte d'Armagnac for a fencing master. Not long into their relationship, her new...
Damn, dude, turn the bottle up. Fucking A. This is a... Dude, you know, that's the longest drink ever in a video. Take a sip, man.
I was
You dehydrated ass nigga. Holy shit. Yeah, we'll wait. The world's watching.
Can we just watch the video?
No, I'm gonna wait till you finish drinking that loud ass drink. I can hear it going down your esophagus, yo. Act like you ain't never drank water before in your life. You got any kind of finesse at all, baby? Damn. Are you okay?
Can we just watch the video?
I'm watching.
People keep yelling at me because you keep pausing the video.
Hell, I'm watching you. Shit.
Paramore killed a man in an illegal duel
Who?
and had to flee Versailles. Julie, ever up for an adventure, put on men's clothes and joined her lover on the run.
Let's go.
For the next few months, Julie and her fencing master tavern hopped across France, traveling, partying, and fighting duels. To help finance their lifestyle, she reinvented herself as a sort of traveling singer/exhibition
I like how
duelist.
she doesn't have arms.
But as they traveled France, Julie began to tire of her swordmaster and soon ditched him
I'm
in
out.
favor of a girl she'd met on the road.
Hey.
As you can imagine, folks weren't super comfortable with gay relationships back in
Those are her
17th century
parents.
France. Especially not when it meant their daughter was carrying on with a disreputable, cross-dressing duelist known for winning fistfights. So the girl's parents did what most families did with misbehaving daughters. They stashed her in a convent.
Get her
That,
now,
they thought,
bitch.
would solve the
You
problem.
can't get her now.
Clearly, they had no idea who they were dealing with. Julie had a plan.
Isn't she also a
Julie
woman?
Yeah.
always had a plan. A very wild, slightly unhinged plan. Step 1, take the holy orders and enter the convent. Step 2, steal a body of a recently
Steal
deceased
a
nun
body.
and stash it in her lover's bedroom. Step 3, light the room on fire, grab the girl, and disappear into the night. Step 4, proceed to gallivant across
Okay.
the countryside
the
with her
fuck is wrong
supposedly
with
dead
you? I feel
like
girlfriend
that's a pretty
as her
solid
new
plan.
sidekick. Remarkably, the plan worked.
Remarkably.
At least for a while. After 3 months of adventure, Julie's girlfriend decided she'd had enough
You
and went back home,
bitch!
shocking her parents by turning up on their doorstep very
I'm
much
alive, by the way.
Her parents took the case to court and got Julie convicted in absentia. She'd be burned at the stake, if anyone could catch her.
Bitch.
That series of events is bonkers even by today's standards.
I mean, yeah.
So what was it about 17th century France that allowed a person like Julie not just to exist, but to thrive? Surprisingly, it had a lot to do with the king, Louis XIV. King Louis came to the throne at the
That's
age
the
of
Sun
4,
King, right?
during a
Yeah.
period of aristocratic
Remember, I was telling people about the
That whole
dancing
ballet
thing.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
rebellions protesting royal encroachment on the rights of nobility. As a result, Louis spent a lifetime centralizing power in the monarchy and casting himself as a divine right monarch. Part of this project involved using opulence and artistic patronage as a way to communicate his God-given power to the public, the nobility, and the church. And that last one was important. Because while Louis was devoutly religious, he also didn't want church officials meddling in political affairs. The concept of divine
the
right
fuck
monarchy
up, nigga.
itself challenged church authority after all, and helped the king avoid getting undermined by powerful popes and cardinals. It made a strange situation where the church and crown were simultaneously partners and rivals for power. And this rivalry played out in the world of artistic patronage.
Here's his money.
Louis realized
Huh?
that if he underwrote artists that were critical of power structures, they would focus their ire on the church instead of the throne.
Hey.
Therefore, it was in his best interest to encourage artists who were irreverent, satirical, or even scandalous. People, in short, like Julie.
My people
And as
steal
it
on
happened,
bodies.
the newly singled Julie wanted to make a career move. She wrote to the Comte d'Armagnac, asking if he could arrange a position for her at the Paris Opera.
Ha.
And the Count petitioned the king on her behalf.
Still?
Louis found her story so amusing that he personally pardoned her so she could take the stage. Louis
GG
himself
easy.
had founded the opera, which was a unique combination of a public theater and a royal academy for the arts.
Yeah.
Do you remember what god he played in the opera?
The sun god Apollo.
The sun god Apollo.
Sometimes.
Damn, you on point, like your hair.
The king himself even starred in plays, including theatrical propaganda designed to direct and influence public opinion. He also loved to dance.
Yes, he
and
did.
despite ill health, performed in ballets extensively throughout his life. The opera was not just artistically significant,
I
but
found it a little disrespectful. They had him sweating and shaking.
That nigga could dance.
Because he could dance. That shit was easy as fuck, man. Yeah.
Socially and politically meaningful as well. And Julie wasted no time in making waves there. She debuted as Pallas Athena, the goddess of war, and quickly became an in-demand talent. She had an ability to quickly memorize lines, and audiences loved her androgynous look and fencing skill.
Because sometimes it looks like she has a nub. Like right there, it looks like she has a nub.
An in-demand talent.
With her initials
she had
on
an ability
it. Like, what
to
if she
quickly
had a
memorize
nub with her
lines,
initials
and
engraved
audiences
on it?
loved
You see her shadow.
Yes.
her androgynous look and fencing skill. Backstage, she fought duels or slept with many of her co-stars, regardless of gender, and several of her most famous relationships began after crossing swords over a quarrel. In one famous incident, she publicly beat an actor for pestering her fellow actresses before a show. It might surprise you to hear that Julie never hid her bisexuality during her years on stage. In fact, she enjoyed a certain amount of royal protection. Although both gay and straight affairs were not uncommon at the time, mainstream public and religious opinions were still vehemently opposed to bisexuality and homosexuality.
Right.
But there was a caveat. Louis XIV's own brother was gay, and known to be generally effeminate and cross-dressed. Therefore, Louis couldn't crack down on homosexuality without there being consequences for his brother, meaning it was an unusually lenient time. But that protection wasn't limitless, and eventually Julie pushed things too far, even for the king. In 1695, Louis's brother Philippe invited Julie to a royal ball as his guest. She arrived dressed as a man and danced with women throughout the night. This certainly ruffled some feathers, but the breaking point came when she kissed a desirable single marquise that several gentlemen were courting. 3 of those suitors challenged Julie to a duel on the spot. She walked outside and defeated them all, one after another, and then went back to the party. Turned down for what?
Oh my god, I love that.
I think I waited the entire video just to hear him say that again.
But this wasn't some amusing tavern brawl. It was a crime during a royal event.
Yeah.
Louis was not happy.
Look at his
Honor
wrinkles.
duels were illegal. They allowed individuals to take matters into their own hands rather than defer to the king's law. In fact, he'd steadily increased the penalty for them over the course of his reign.
Jesus.
Unlike her previous crime against the church, this crime was against the king, the same king who extended her patronage and protection. Julie fled to Brussels. While waiting for things to calm down, she had an affair with a German prince, you know, just to pass the time, and returned to Paris a year later to take a permanent position in the opera. She tried to settle down, even reuniting with her husband. Yeah, remember him? Her troublemaking days were hardly behind her, but she wouldn't be burning down any more convents. During those last years, she sang for the royal court many times, and in 1702, she reached the height of her career, performing an opera written specifically for her. But steady, predictable life never agreed with Julie. After a few years of domestic bliss and a few fistfights, Julie eventually fell head over heels in love with La Marquise de Florensac. When the Marquise died in 1705, Julie slipped into deep grief, retired from opera, and joined a convent.
Bitch!
For real this time.
For real.
She died there at the age of 33.
33?
Julie's short...
Yeah, that's a good time. 17, what, oh something? That's good.
Bitch, you had all this sex before your 30s?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah!
Oh my
Wild
god.
Life reveals a lot
Bitch
about
was
the world
boning
she lived in.
everybody.
While she was a force to be reckoned with, she also took advantage of shifting political and cultural norms in France, carving out a space where she could live as her...
There you go.
I enjoyed that. That was
Right? Wasn't that really fucking good?
She's one of the good white women.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Thank you so much for watching with us, Ho Biscuits. I hope you noticed that we made an effort not to pause the video as many times this time.
Dude, y'all can get over that shit. We about to pause that video a lot. Go fuck yourself.
People have been bitching so much, and I keep telling them, yo, if you want to watch the video, go watch the goddamn video. But if you want to see me and my beautiful face, come see me and my beautiful face with my fiance.
What's up?
Peace out, Ho Biscuits. It's getting lit.